Xbox 2023. This is the year. It has to be the year.
It has to be. I mean, what are these studios been working on if this isn't the year?
Right. Well, 2022 was supposed to be the year.
Mm-hmm.
So that means this year has to be the year. So we wanted to put together the best and worst case scenario for Xbox in 2023. And in my mind, the best case scenario is everything slated to releases, and it's good. We also get something like Avowed or Hellblade 2 sneaking into the year to add a little more pop.
I think Avowed could.
Yeah, it feels more likely at this point, which is weird because I would have said Hellblade last year. But
I mean, I'm not counting out Hellblade for fall this year.
Yeah.
Or 2023 year.
Not only do those need to hit, they need to be good.
Yeah.
Starfield needs to come out and be the new Fallout, the new Elder Scrolls, the tentpole that brings back
It needs
Bethesda.
to be an Elden Rings, like Elden Rings Elden Ring was this year with how much it popped off and stayed around for months.
Yeah.
Starfield needs to be that for March through April, like to stick around and have its talking points.
It needs to give enough variety like Bethesda's games do, to where people can feel like they're having their own adventure and can show that to the world and everybody can experience it a different way. That's what Elden Ring was so good with. Not only that, Redfall, another Bethesda game.
Yes. I'm excited for Redfall.
I am too. I'm getting more excited the more I see. Ideally, it is Arkane's style and gameplay wrapped up in a great Left 4 Dead package.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it's the game that people wanted from Back 4 Blood. Not that it was bad, but it pops off in a more unique way than, because Back 4 Blood was just a copy of Left 4 Dead. Hopefully this is a more stylized thing. Small games that need to hit, replaced.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned about it being a little too much of a promise. Like everything we've seen looks almost too good to be true, but if it isn't, that would be in the best case scenario. Minecraft Legends needs to be a love letter to Minecraft fans that pulls them in. Forza Motorsport needs to be the new standard, the new benchmark for technical ability or capability of the console.
And I'm not even into those games a lot, but the last trailer they had at E3 is the last one I've watched with the weather effects. I mean, I was interested in its Game Pass, so it's easy to try. Yeah,
it's going to be niche regardless of if it's, that big leap. But that big leap can push forward the idea that Xbox is ahead.
Yeah.
That's the part of the best case scenario.
They also need to pick up a third-party AAA. I don't know which one, but they usually do a good job of picking one to get on Game Pass, and that usually boosts their year too.
Yeah. Along with the best case scenario of their own games, now Call of Duty is their own game.
Yeah.
We need to see some Activision games come to Game Pass.
Zombies need to come to Game Pass.
Right, yeah. I'm just thinking 2023, but there needs to be some more promise of the immediate future after that, 2024 stuff. We start getting the 2023 stuff, not getting it pushed to 2024, and we get some new stuff that's coming next year, new surprises from that deal, specifically from the Activision deal.
We need a good Xbox showcase that shows off all this other stuff like Perfect Dark, Fable, what these other
what happened to Everwild. They need to clear some air on that. That's all best case scenario, and they also need some things sprinkled in there, some surprises. Worst case scenario, some of those games get pushed. I don't see a reality where Redfall and Starfield get pushed. That's a little over the top for me, but I can see Starfield maybe falling back. Like maybe they want it to be just right and it doesn't make it this year, or maybe Redfall falls back and then Starfield does get put out and it's not ready. Minecraft Legends could come out and just be a cash grab for those people that like Minecraft. Like I wouldn't be terribly surprised by that. Replace could come out and not be what it looks like, because it looks so cinematic and
it's hard to imagine how that's going to feel.
Right, all the rocking of the camera and everything, like it looks pretty, but I don't know how to picture myself playing that game.
The good thing about first party Xbox is they don't have to worry about release dates, because if you have Game Pass, you don't have to pay for that game, in a roundabout way. But what they do need to worry about is having eyes on, like, say if they do it around Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom and they release.
They need competition there.
Right. I mean, yes, I have Game Pass and could download this game, but I'm going to play the $60 game.
Right.
It's always that situation.
I think a part of that worst case scenario is that Game Pass continues to kind of put out good but not great games.
I would say this wouldn't have been a great year for Game Pass, personally.
No, like 2022?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. And that's what I'm worried about trickling into 2023. I mean, this worst case scenario just involves that we keep the status quo of them pushing things back that we know about, and that becomes the new thing that you're supposed to look forward to the next year, even though like you were looking forward to it this year. And I feel like gamers are getting restless.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox fans deserve something now. Like we've been promised this for so long.
What
that we
was
deserve
their
to be paid
last
off.
big first party release? Is it Halo or no?
Yeah, I mean that would have to be the last big one.
And that's 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, we're over a year.
Right, and nothing else that year that I can think of.
One of the biggest games this year was High on Life, which isn't their first party. It is
that was after the fact.
But
purchasing that deal basically.
As Dust Falls was another big one for them.
Yeah, I mean they have these good games, and those are especially good. But then they partner up with some indie games that I feel like those developers are a little worried they're going to fall flat when they release.
Yeah.
So they're like, we'll just put it on Game Pass, and then they come out on Game Pass, and people are like, I didn't pay for it, so I enjoyed it. But it isn't the thing they're going to remember down the road. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm that way. I play a lot of Game Pass games and enjoy them.
I download more than I play.
Right, yeah. I mean, and even then, I play a lot of them for a very short period of time.
And I know it's
and
still
forget
gonna
about
be there. And,
right, yeah. So we need to start getting some that really grip you. I mean, the older ones they put up are good, but the day and date ones have not been huge bangers for a while. But yeah, and then we don't get either of those Avowed or Hellblade, which I'm prepared for that to not happen anyway.
Yeah, I am too.
The best case scenario is a dream scenario. The worst case scenario, I don't think happens, but these are things that in combination could happen one way or another.
So there's no Call of Duty next year.
No.
So even if the deal goes through, we would be just getting backlog or
which is fine.
Old catalog of stuff.
It'll be good for playing.
Which would be cool. Like, I think Zombies will have a big comeback when people can just jump on Game Pass and play that.
Anytime. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to with these deals, but I think what gamers want, I don't think they're going to be satisfied with just more old games coming back. We have to start seeing new games.
Game Pass has already filled out the old catalog, as far as I'm concerned. Like, there may be a few here and there that they don't have, but I think the focus needs to be on new titles.
Right. Yeah. We have to get some pop. Like, PlayStation always has something on the horizon that is just feels so next level.
Yeah.
Like, they got Spider-Man 2 coming up, and we know there's going to be another God of War at some point. It's like Halo has to deliver something that makes us feel that way. I mean, Halo. Microsoft has
Halo should have delivered
exactly. That's a good comparison there. But Xbox needs to start delivering those types of games. Gears of War is kind of in a rut. Will 6 be the big thing? I don't think it comes next year, so we're getting a little past it. But I mean, there's a worst case scenario where Stalker 2 is another game that could or couldn't come out next year. It's a part of the best case scenario if it does, and it has all the support of the fans and it gets praise. But also, it could end up missing because of the war.
The case of Benedict Fox, is that a first party or is that
no? It's not first party, but it is in their deal.
Okay,
I think it's going to be like, again, that's another thing that as gamers or as Xbox gamers, it feels a little bad when you start seeing games like Ori and Cuphead, the ones that were bangers for Xbox when they came out. Now they're on other consoles. And I feel like as a PlayStation fan too, like it goes the same way with Sifu coming to Xbox. It's like, I mean, you're not mad that other people are getting to play it, but it felt special for your console.
Yeah.
I mean, we play all 3 of the consoles, but sometimes it's fun to have this,
exclusive.
This exclusive thing that you can compare between them. But I think the most likely thing is that we get a combination of those things, and then maybe Minecraft does come out and it's kind of just a cash grab, but at the same time, Starfield hits in a big way. Like, obviously, we can't predict completely, but there's
Starfield
a wide range of things.
Needs to hit for the Bethesda side of things.
Yeah.
Be redeemed, I guess. No, and not really redeemed because Fallout 76 isn't a total failure.
Yeah.
But this needs to be a banger of a game. It needs to be better than Halo because Halo was supposed to bring back that series, and I feel like that was talked about for a month, 2 months.
Yeah. Oh, it died off real fast. It was huge for a minute, and then it died off. I think Starfield, they did the right thing. They delayed it. They're looking to get it there, where we're talking about.
Could you imagine having to try to play that game the same time Ragnarok and everything else was coming out?
That's true. I mean, it almost is a blessing. There's so much that was happening in November that I think it needed to move. It wasn't going to win Game of the Year against those games.
No.
Maybe it has a chance next year. There's some big games next year. But I don't need this game to be a 10. Yeah. If Starfield comes out as a 9 and a big, huge open world space exploring 9, I think so many people will be happy about that, and it'd be a huge win for Xbox. Redfall, I feel like that can be an 8 and just make a lot of memories with your friends, and that's a win. Yeah. Like, we could really just break it down to the baseline of each of these games, what they need to be. They don't need a bunch of 7s. That's what it feels like it's been for a while.
And I saw people online were upset over Xbox not being at the Game Awards, and I didn't really think about it until afterwards.
Yeah, it wasn't really anything there.
But it is weird for when they announced their Series X, it was at Game Awards. Like it was a big deal, and I felt they just wasn't there.
Yeah, I would have thought one new thing would be shown.
One exclusive.
Yeah, I think and most people wouldn't think of it this way, but like Everwild was a kind of a breaking point for the momentum of Xbox.
Yeah.
Not that many people were super excited for Everwild. Like, it was pretty intriguing. But when they indefinitely delayed that game, it was like, oh no, they don't have it as figured out as we thought.
No.
Like, that got indefinitely delayed, and then it wasn't too much longer after that Perfect Dark had some problems we heard about. Like, we're in a really important time as Xbox.
I mean, you think of our top 10 this year.
Yeah.
And it's nothing's an Xbox exclusive.
Not really. I mean, as dust falls, but I feel like that's going to be the situation where it ends up coming to everything else at some point or another. It feels like a Switch game to me. Like, a lot of people end up playing it there. But yeah, that's real. I mean, it's bad if a narrative game like that, a decision based, like if that's your best, come on. I don't mean to rag on them. I think we're optimistic as Xbox owners that they'll get it together and show the thing. Like, there was just such a big explosion that hasn't been paid off.
I would love to see each big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox, have a game in the Game of the Year conversation every year.
Yeah, that's the dream.
That's the dream.
It's the competition. Yeah, it ain't that I want, because I mean, I'm largely an Xbox gamer. I play a lot of PlayStation and Switch too, but like the majority of my third-party stuff is played there. So I want that to be brought up, the exclusive competition to be brought up. Yeah, ideally the competition is so even across the board that like, it's really a toss-up between the three. Yeah. And maybe this is the year. Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, and Starfield are all potentially there. It's just weird. When you say Starfield compared to those two, you're going to have more skepticism.
Yeah.
But that's just because, like, the surroundings of Fallout 76 really is why people are more skeptical. I think it's going to be a good year. I'm going to stay optimistic. But leave comments of how you think Xbox will go, if you're optimistic or if you question the leadership at this point, because I mean a lot of people are.
Yeah.
But we want to stay positive, so give us your most anticipated Xbox game.
Yeah, give us your scenario for 2023.
Yeah, just lay it all out there. You could do it in a bunch of different comments. Just kind of do a paragraph, bunch of comments, and click the like and subscribe. Come back for more. We got some cool stuff coming.
Yeah, next year's big.
Yeah, the beginning of the year going to be huge. But we thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.